The lies of history. In 1864, the Dene were rounded up by the United States military and by the traitorous Kit Carson. He was not a good man. When at the base of Chakra Mesa in Chaco Canyon, my direct ancestors fired arrows on him and hit him in the shoulder. Kit Carson destroyed all of the crops of the Dene people, so unthinkable to the Dene. They also did this in Canyon de Chelly, but Barboncito was aware of the United States soldiers by now and led 300 Dene and fortified Fortress Rock. The soldiers camped at the base and tried to starve them out. One night, when the water ran out, they silently scaled down the bottom of the cliffs and retrieved water early in the night and into the morning. That morning, the soldiers left. In 1867, Washington, D.C. heard rumors that the Dene people were dying from rotten food and their children were being sold as slaves to the white people at Fort Sumner. When General Sherman came to the Bosque Redondo, he found out all the rumors were true. Your ancestors' children were being sold as slaves in 1867. General Sherman had the Dene headmen sign their peace treaty so they could return to their homeland. The Navajo people were the only tribe who were allowed to do so with the treaty. The only thing General Sherman wanted was the right-of-way for the railroad in New Mexico and Arizona. However, many Dene were not living on the reservation in New Mexico. The Dene were raiding white settlements, and as a result, allotments were handed out in 1887 to get the Dene to stop raiding and to settle down on land. This generally worked for many Dene, but corrupt government officials rejected this process for allotted lands to many Dene. The land allocated to the Dene was initially not considered as part of the reservation. Further, the government determined that land left over after all members of the Dene had received allotments was to be considered surplus and available for sale to non-natives. This ended in 1934, but all Dene were given the land they deserved. The Dene Business Council was established in 1922 by the U.S. Secretary of Interior in order to certify mineral leases on the reservation. Now I'm going to explain some situations here. As we're going through this Navajo Nation campaign, I'm realizing that, I remember there's 15 of us, and I'm the one that is outside the box here. The other 14 still want to work with the Interior Department. They want to work with the U.S. government. They want this and this and that, which are promises they're trying to make you as a people, to give you. So how can they do it? How many times do I have to say this at every forum? These 14 people cannot live up to any of their promises. Because when they're going to Washington, D.C., guess what's happening outside the Navajo Nation? Gee, there's huge inflation. We have a recession that's coming that is going to be so much bigger than the 1930s. My Dene people, wake up. Which one? None of these 14 that you're rooting for, none of them have no promise. They have no money. Like I said, no money. Our GDP stinks. And we don't even know what's happening to the GDP. Everybody seems to pocket it in the council, in the Navajo Nation presidency. I mean, on and on. Everybody's just putting it in their pockets. So, the end result is, if you do not vote number 9 for Frankie Davis, you're going down. Down the same rabbit hole, down the same rabbit hole you've been in. All of you Diné people on the Diné Kaya. For 154 years. It has not stopped. It will not stop.